I'm Charlie Munger. I'm 99 years old. I'm worth about $2.5 billion. But in 1962, I had less than nothing. Negative net worth, divorced, broke, drowning in debt, and watching my 9-year-old son die from leukemia while I couldn't afford proper medical treatment. That was my rock bottom, 38 years old and completely destroyed. So when people ask me, Charlie, if you had to start 2026 with $0, what would you do? I don't need to guess. I lived it. I climbed out of that hole once. And if I had to do it again today, starting this year with nothing, I know exactly what I'd do. 7 steps, 12 months, $0 to solvent. This is the same plan I used in the 1960s. The same plan every self-made wealthy person I know followed. And it will work for you in 2026 if you actually follow it. Here's the truth most people miss. Starting with nothing isn't your problem. Your problem is you don't have a plan. You're guessing. You're copying what broke people do. That's why you stay broke. I'm about to give you 7 specific steps, month by month, dollar by dollar. By December, if you follow this, you'll have money saved, new income streams, and a clear path to wealth. This isn't theory. This is what works. Let's begin. Step 1. January. Cut everything that bleeds money. If you're starting this year with $0, it's because money leaves your life faster than it enters. That stops today. Here's what I'd do on January 1st if I was broke. I'd take out a piece of paper and write down every single place money goes, every subscription, every monthly payment, every habit that costs money. Then I'd eliminate half of it immediately. Car payment. If I'm starting with 0, I don't deserve a car payment. I sell whatever I'm driving. Buy a $3,000 used car with cash, if I even need a car, and I eliminate $400 to $500 a month in payments plus insurance savings. That's $6,000 over 12 months. When you're starting from 0, $6,000 is a fortune. Food. I stop eating out completely. Not even coffee shops. Not even fast food. I cook every single meal at home. Rice, beans, eggs, chicken, vegetables. $5 a day. Most people spend that on one meal. Over a year, the difference between spending $3,000 eating out and spending $1,500 on groceries is $1,500 saved. It's not forever. It's for 1 year. Subscriptions. Netflix, Spotify, gym memberships, whatever else is draining $10 here and $20 there. Gone. All of it. I can read free books from the library. I can do push-ups in my apartment. That's another $50 to $70 a month. Another $600 to $800 a year. Entertainment. 0 budget for entertainment. Not because I hate fun, because I'm broke. And broke people who spend money on entertainment stay broke. I find free entertainment. I walk in parks. I read. I learn skills online for free. When I'm no longer broke, I can spend on entertainment again, but not now. Most people won't do this. They'll say, I can't live like that. Yes, you can. You just don't want to, and that's fine. Stay broke then. But don't complain about being broke if you're not willing to do what's necessary to stop being broke. I lived through the Great Depression. I watched grown men lose everything. The ones who survived weren't the ones with the best circumstances. They were the ones willing to do whatever it took. So that's January. Stop the bleeding. Live on less than you thought possible, because every dollar you don't spend this month is a dollar that starts working for you next month. Step 2, February through March. Earn more money than you've ever earned. Here's the brutal truth. You can't save your way out of 0. You can't invest your way out of 0 when you have nothing to invest. Your only option is to earn more money. For the next 60 days, February and March, you have one job. Increase income, not by 10%, by double, by triple if possible. If I was starting 2026 broke, here's exactly what I'd do. First, I'd identify the most valuable skill I have and sell it at the highest rate possible. Can I write clearly? I'd offer copywriting services to small businesses. $50 per page to start. Can I build things? Handyman services. $75 an hour. Can I organize? Professional organizing for wealthy people who are too busy. $60 an hour. Can I code even basic websites? $500 per site to start. I don't care if it's not my dream job. We're not building a career right now. We're building capital. There's a difference. Second, I'd stack income streams. I wouldn't work one job, I'd work 3. Full-time job during the day. Whatever pays the most and requires the least skill. Night shift warehouse work pays $22 to $28 an hour in most cities. Freelance work in the evenings, 3 to 4 hours after my day job. Writing, designing, coding, consulting, whatever my skill is. Weekend work, delivering food, moving furniture, anything that adds another $400 to $600 a month. Most people will say that's impossible, that's too hard, I'll burn out. Let me tell you what's hard. Being 70 years old and broke. Working until you're 80 because you didn't work hard enough at 30. I'd work 70 to 80-hour weeks for 8 weeks straight, February and March, that's it. 56 days of maximum effort. And my goal would be to save $5,000 by April 1st. $5,000 doesn't sound like much when you're wealthy, but when you're starting from zero, it's everything. It's options, it's leverage, it's proof you can delay gratification. And psychologically, having $5,000 in the bank changes how you think. You stop thinking like a desperate person. You start thinking like an investor. Here's what most broke people do wrong. They earn extra money and they spend it. They get a tax refund and buy a TV. They work overtime and celebrate with a vacation. They never get ahead because they reward themselves for earning before they've actually built anything. Don't do that. Every extra dollar you earn in February and March goes into savings. No exceptions. No treats. No rewards. Just save. By April 1st, you should have $5,000. If you don't, you didn't follow the plan. You made excuses. Try again. Step 3, April through June. Build your wall against disaster. Once you hit $5,000, every instinct will tell you to invest it. Resist that instinct. Because here's what happens to broke people who invest too early. Life happens. The car breaks down. Medical emergency. Job loss, and suddenly they have to sell their investments at the worst possible time, usually at a loss, to cover basic survival. Then they're back to zero, and they quit. I've watched this destroy people for 70 years. They get excited. They invest their first $5,000 in stocks. Then an emergency hits and they're done. They never try again because they think investing doesn't work for people like them. So instead, from April through June, we're building what I call the disaster wall. That's $10,000 in cash, just sitting there, not invested, not growing much, earning maybe 4% in a high-yield savings account. Every financial expert will tell you this is stupid. They'll say you're losing money to inflation. That money should be working harder. Ignore them. They've never been broke. They don't understand the psychology of scarcity. The worst financial position isn't having cash that earns 4%. The worst position is having no cash when disaster strikes, because disaster always strikes, always. So for 3 months, April through June, the plan is the same as before. Multiple income streams, lean living, minimum spending. But now instead of saving your first $5,000, you're saving the next $10,000. This is harder than the first $5,000. The first $5,000, you're motivated by desperation. The next $10,000, you're motivated by discipline. Most people fail here because the urgency fades. Don't let it fade. By the end of June, you should have $15,000 total. $5,000 from the first quarter, $10,000 from the second quarter. And something changes in your brain at this point. You stop feeling desperate. You stop making decisions from fear, because $15,000 buys time. If you lose your job, you can survive 3 to 6 months while finding a better one. If your car dies, you can replace it without going into debt. If a medical emergency hits, you can handle it. This is the foundation. This is what separates people who build wealth from people who stay broke forever. It's not exciting. It's not sexy, but it's absolutely essential. Step 4. July through August. Invest in the one asset that guarantees returns. Now we invest, but not in stocks, not in real estate, not in crypto or gold or whatever else is being marketed to you. We invest in the one asset that has never failed to produce returns for me in 70 years. Yourself. You have $15,000. $10,000 is your disaster wall. You don't touch it, but $5,000 is investment capital. And the highest return investment available to you right now is increasing your own earning power. If I was doing this today, here's where that $5,000 would go. $2,000 on a skill that increases my hourly value. If I'm making $20 an hour, I'd spend $2,000 on whatever certification or training gets me to $35 an hour. Could be a coding boot camp. Could be a real estate license. Could be welding certification. Could be learning advanced Excel and SQL for data analysis jobs. I don't care what it is as long as the math works. Spend $2,000 to earn $15 more per hour. Work 2,000 hours a year. That's $30,000 in increased lifetime earnings from a $2,000 investment. That's a 1,400% return over 10 years. $1,000 on tools that let me earn independently. If I can write, I'm buying a quality laptop and software. If I can build, I'm buying professional grade tools. If I can sell, I'm buying initial inventory for flipping goods. The goal is owning my means of production. $1,000 on networking and positioning, industry conferences, professional associations, taking successful people to lunch and learning from them. Every major opportunity I ever had came from knowing the right person at the right time. This isn't soft, this is strategic. $1,000 as an opportunity fund for deals that appear suddenly, estate sales where I can buy goods and flip them, freelance equipment I need quickly, whatever comes up. Most broke people want to skip this step. They want to put that $5,000 in stocks and watch it grow. But stocks will still be there next year, and you'll have more money to invest then. Right now, the best investment is closing the gap between what you earn and what you need to earn to build real wealth. Step 5, September through October. Create the income stream that works while you sleep. By September, if you followed this plan, you're in a completely different position than January. You have $10,000 in emergency savings. You've invested $5,000 in yourself. You're earning significantly more per hour than you were 8 months ago. And you're still living lean. Now we build the thing that changes everything. Passive income. Not passive income the way internet marketers sell it. Not drop shipping. Not selling courses to other people trying to get rich. I'm talking about real income streams that generate money, whether you work or not. If I was doing this today with the money I've saved by September, here's what I'd build. Option 1, dividend-paying stocks. By September, I'd have saved another $3,000 from my increased income. I'd invested in the most boring, reliable companies in America. Companies that make soap, toothpaste, insurance, food, medicine. Companies that have paid dividends every single year for 50 years or more. At a 4% dividend yield, $3,000 generates $120 per year. That's $10 a month. Sounds like nothing. But that $10 came from capital, not labor. Next month, I add another $300. The month after, another $300. By December, that $10 becomes $40 a month. By next year, it's $200 a month. In 5 years, if I keep feeding it, it becomes $2,000 a month. That's how compound interest works. Option 2, house hacking. If I've saved aggressively and have $20,000 total by September, I could put 3.5% down on a small duplex using an FHA loan. I live in one unit, rent out the other. The rent from the tenant covers most or all of my mortgage. I'm building equity. I'm living almost free, and in 10 years I own a $200,000 asset. The point isn't which option you choose. The point is that by September, you start building income that doesn't require your time. That's the difference between working until you're 70 and retiring at 55. Step 6, November, the month that destroys most people. By November, you're exhausted. You've been grinding for 10 months, living lean, working multiple streams, delaying gratification. And the holidays are coming. This is where most people break. They say, I've been so disciplined all year, I deserve to celebrate. And they blow $2,000 on holiday spending. Gifts, travel, new clothes, restaurants. I earned it. And then January comes, and they're right back where they started. I've watched this pattern for 7 decades. November and December destroy more financial progress than any other 2 months, because people confuse earning money with having money. Just because you earned $50,000 this year doesn't mean you have $50,000. If you spent $48,000, you have $2,000. That's the only number that matters. So here's what I'd do in November. I'd commit to spending nothing extra. 0 holiday inflation. I'd give gifts that cost nothing. My time, homemade food, handwritten letters explaining what I'm doing and why. I'd tell my family I'm building financial security this year. Next year I can be generous. But this year I need to finish what I started. Some people won't understand. Some will judge you. Let them. They're not paying your bills in 20 years when they're still working and you're not. November isn't about celebrating progress. It's about protecting progress. It's about not tripping at the finish line after running 10 miles. Hold the line. 2 more months. Step 7. December 2 plan. Plan the year that makes you wealthy. If you actually followed this plan, here's where you are by December. You have $10,000 in emergency savings. You have a second income stream generating $50 to $300 per month. You're earning 30 to 50% more per hour than January. You have skills and certifications that make you more valuable. You've proven to yourself that you can execute a plan and delay gratification. In 12 months, you went from 0 to solvent. That's massive. But you're not done. You're just starting. Because now in December, we plan year 2. And year 2 is where everything accelerates. In year 1, you built the foundation. Year 2, you build the wealth. You don't have to save for emergencies anymore. You have that. So now every dollar goes toward investing, toward building businesses, toward buying assets. Year 1, you work 3 jobs to save money. Year 2, you might quit one of those jobs to start a business because you have 6 months of expenses saved as backup. Year 1, you lived in a cheap apartment to save rent. Year 2, you might buy that duplex and house hack because you have the down payment. Year 1 is defense. Year 2 is offense. So in December, I'd sit down with my year 1 results and write out year 2. What's my income goal? What's my savings target? What's the next skill I'll learn? What's the next investment I'll make? What does my life look like in 24 months if I keep executing? And then I'd commit to it the same way I committed to year 1. Because this isn't a 1-year plan. This is the beginning of building real, lasting wealth. The plan works, but only if you work the plan. Let me be very clear about something. This plan works. I know it works because it's the same approach I used in the 1960s when I had less than nothing. The same principles Warren used when he was starting out. The same strategy every self-made wealthy person I know followed at some point. But most of you won't do it. You'll watch this video, you'll nod along, you'll say it makes sense, and then you'll go back to exactly what you were doing before. You'll keep spending money you don't have. You'll keep waiting for something magical to happen while you do nothing different. And next year you'll be right back here, starting another year with nothing, wondering why nothing changed. Don't be that person. If you're starting 2026 with $0, you have a choice right now. Waste another year, or commit to this plan. Not for a week, not for a month, for all 12 months. I'm 99 years old. I've been doing this for 7 decades. And I'm telling you, if you follow this plan, by December, you will not recognize your financial life. You'll have savings. You'll have skills. You'll have income streams. You'll have options. But you have to start today, right now. Stop the bleeding. Earn more. Build your wall. Invest in yourself. Create passive income. Stay disciplined through the holidays. Plan your next year. That's it. That's the whole plan. 7 steps, 12 months, $0 to solvent. The question isn't whether it works. The question is whether you'll work it.